We Santo, Man Kolnyang, Mike, Sholgrangawan, Yupit, Luping Yarul, Pandishet Maniel, Anaketon Niel, Jillo, Winnetonando. I think a kick, Buka, Devo, Anyalian, dear Kuika, Pingrin, Gemana, when I jang along, I do Kagaparami, Madina Maja, Kubo, Makur, Kagaboli, and Kuaita Tian, Wagari, Kegela, Emmanuel, when you go, I think a kick, Buka. You pon the loy, you might you a good meat to meet one. Could I go boy low up and Kayoga, I lay you train, it's young and you are the watching my melody. Money, you're going to buy in good, and let on a banana. Hey, you pay a matona road, Jemana to the lake, joy, be tired calling to buy. Punya you to jogging by the pandemic, which in our dam, I my little train, Jalakabi, Budadi, Kewil Banan, Buddha, boy, low, Banan, Kayoga, I lay your train, it's young as you are the watching money, money, you're quite ready to buy in good, yellow tiny banana.
Yesterday from those big international persons, and we share the concern that now that they are no longer paying for our health system in our hospitals, and our hospital will be closing in the villages. And I responded by saying that in 1998, in a place called Madubai near Maridi, that's village called Madubai, I had a very bad malaria. And I was vomiting that yellow material that comes out. And an old woman referred me to a small tree that has got bitter roots, that I should chew those roots to get malaria away. I chewed the roots and the malaria went away. I told that person, let the hospital close down. The closure of the hospital itself is an achievement to us because we never had hospital before. We are going nowhere. We will be here. This country will go nowhere. This country will never be reversed again. That flag of the Republic is already in New York in the United Nations headquarters and will continue to fly among the nation states' flag.
Okay, guys, welcome everybody. Welcome to Slake Media. My name is Abraham Madin Majak, and Majong Makur with me in the studio. So for those of you who are watching on YouTube and Clubhouse and Facebook, please share the video. So today we will be talk about. Let me take this one out. Today we will be talking about. There is a remark from General Secretary of SPLM, Comrade Dr. Akol Kordit. So as you see that the little clip that I play from radio, iRadio, so his remark took a lot of criticism and debate and talk about, but the cutting the health sector in South Sudan. As you can see what he say, so his message is good, but another thing too, the health sector, the way that he's being regarded, but we rely on traditional medicine. So that alone is put a red flag that the government of South Sudan are lying, and they are sending that signal to the national organization that who are funding the healthcare in South Sudan. So when this national and international organization that who are funding or helping our people in NGO in South Sudan, and they're cutting the funding for the Medicare, and they say it's okay, you guys can cut the Medicare. We don't care. We are relying on a traditional medicine. And you give example during the Haraka time when people were in the bush, so people were survive on traditional medicine. So this has the government of South Sudan. We are no longer in the bush. Okay, South Sudan is the Republic of South Sudan is a country, and South Sudan have a mandate to provide the basic need for the citizen of the Republic of South Sudan, like Medicare, section, education, and as a need that the people are want for for their basic life. But the big challenging people I face now is the healthcare sector, because there's no message for no clinic, no hospital across the 10 states. The hospital that you see, they don't have medicine in it, and people are relying on the NGO, other foreigners, aids, but the government is not doing. The only medicine, the hospital that I see is only Yama Juba. Okay, so only Juba Hospital. That's the only thing that I see, and there's no medicine. People are dying there. Okay, people are dying there because there's no any medicine there. But General Secretary of SPLM, Dr. Paul Kordit, due to respect, I respect the guy. He's one of the outstanding political leader for SPLM party. For him to come out and say that in public and send that signal is a red flag, and he's not. So that's how I see. So government South Sudan should not be rely on traditional medicine, because emon lul daman emon jang then daman ware koi par mon jang ke lu rely on wal wene kala way ping because I am a mum, so they don't have anywhere to turn. They rely on that. So South Sudan is a country, and the government has a mandate to provide all of this. So why is it the government come out and say this? They said, "Oh, we are not worried about it. If you cut the funding, go ahead. We will survive on traditional medicine that we get from the bush." So that thing, it is not good. So I condemn that medicine. That statement from Honorable Dr. Akol Kordit. That thing's not good, because South Sudan is a country, and have right to create, to build healthcare sector, and also to not send that signal to the national organizations that who are provide the basic Medicare to our people, and the South Sudan rely on those NGO. So I will stop here. Let me hear back to my brother Majong Makur, and before that we have two topics we will discuss today. a statement from Dr. Akol Kordit, and number two, we will touch base on yesterday event that the acting chairman of IO, Nathaniel Oyet, as you guys know, that he visited the United States. He's in the United States yesterday. He was in Omaha, Nebraska, give a speech to the member of IO and the Nuer community in Nebraska. So we will analyze that is the speech. And for that, I will stop here. Let me welcome in my brother, Jong Makur. Welcome, Jong Makur. What do you think about your perspective regarding about the statement that Akol Kordit said? And some of you, if you want to join our discussion, let us know. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Abraham Adit. To the viewers of Lex Media, welcome to Lex Media Beyond Boundaries. As you have heard from my colleague Abraham Adit, we will be discussing two topics today, of which these two topics are political topics, and all of them are subject for further scrutiny and discussions. Before I move to the remarks made by the ruling party Secretary General, Dr. Akol Kordit, permit me to rectify to those who are reading the running line below our show. This show was intended to take place yesterday, which was Saturday, and that's why you are seeing as Saturday, March 15th. So, but today we had some issues yesterday. We were committed, and then we postponed it yesterday to today, Sunday. So Abraham Adit will take care of that. Secondly, to some of you who may be having interest to come and share their thoughts and opinions in regard to this crucial topic, and then please don't hesitate to join us. You are highly welcome to speak. Our fellow citizens, the most important things for the remarks of Paul Kordit, Abraham Adit, it has actually sparked a lot of debate, and it has actually revealed a certain sector of our government or our country which many citizens tend not to pay attention to, especially the early sector. The early sector has been actually dying for the last several years, but nobody was even talking about it. Not even the opposition, not even the government, not even the youth, not even other denominations like Christians or other churches. People were focused much on the issues of war, the peace agreement, the degrees of President Kiir, which everybody wait very eagerly every evening to see who will be degreed out and who will be degreed in. But what Dr. Akol said on that very day has actually drawn attention of many citizens to look into the issue of early sector in our country. And that is one thing that I appreciated. Number two, I'm happy that South Sudan political arena is now getting some leaders who speak to the public. The most crucial things to the leadership is to speak to his people. Now they are speaking. And while they are speaking, whatever statement they make in the public arena or public domain, it is the subject to scrutiny and analysis. And through the analysis, others will object, others will accept, and others will oppose and all that. And at the end of the day, maybe the leadership will make a critical, right decision. Through criticism, through constructive discussions, providing ideas, giving alternative suggestions to other worlds, it gives government a room to listen to the people. But for our case as South Sudanese, it has been so one-way traffic. Is either President Kiir speak, everybody will go quiet. Is either Dr. Yag speak, everybody will go quiet. And through them speaking, they don't even speak on what we need to hear. They speak through the barrel of gun. And that's why many citizens are dying. And if they were to come out and address citizens, tell them their plans, Tell us what you have for us. Tell us what you will do to the public, to the citizens, especially in the health sector, education sector, the roads, agriculture, and developments and all that. I believe many citizens would have not opted to buy guns and start killing each other. There would have been so much relying on the statements issued by their leaders. And those statements would either inspire them or demoralize them. But the two leaders have refused to speak to the citizens. And if we hear people like Secretary General of the SPLM, Akol Kordit, coming out to speak, that make you think that speaking is better than being quiet, because nothing can be resolved when people are muted. You speak and you will find a solution to the problem that you are talking about. Back to his remarks, I made my few remarks or analysis on my Facebook page. Some of you who are my followers might have come across it, I think 2 days ago. And these are the two things Abraham did, I understood in a Paul's remarks. Number one, many of us fell short to understand or questions what prompted Dr. Akol to respond in that manner. What made him to respond in that manner? That's one thing we need to examine and make some assumptions in that regard. Number two, what was the intentions of a big man calling Akol and tells him that we are going to shut down the hospitals here in South Sudan, simply because there will be no funding? What was in his mind? That is another question we need also to re-examine before we judge the Secretary General harshly. Let me take you back to the year 2025, in the month of January on 20th. That was the day Donald J. Trump came out and stated very clearly that no any penny or a dime of the U.S. citizens' taxpayers will cross overseas under U.S. aid. He suspended the operation of U.S. aid and then even stopped work of the U.S. aid or operations on the 24th of the same month, January 2025. And after Donald J. Trump came out and suspended and even stopped the operation of U.S. aid, many health workers in South Sudan lost their jobs instantly. And nobody speak about it, not even the workers themselves. And we know the USAID is one of the biggest donors that donates a lot of things, especially in terms of health sector, medicine, and they have a lot of projects. But now they were suspended and stopped in the year 2025 in South Sudan. Not even in South Sudan alone, they were suspended in the entire Africa and Asia. From that very day, I thought maybe the Ministry of Health might have come out with some plans on how to accommodate the workers that lost their jobs from US aid, on how to maintain the facilities which were erected by the US aid across the 3 regions of South Sudan, on how to get Plan B. Plan B is to look for another donor, at least to come in and support the vulnerable people of South Sudan. I thought our ministry would have those plans already table them under what they call Council of how do you call it? Council of Ministers, weekly, periodic week gathering. And if they're approved by the president and his bureaucratic government, then maybe they can allocate some budget to them to address those issues. And fortunately, we have not seen anything of that sort on the public domain, nor do we had anything from the Ministry of Health in South Sudan. And that was the genesis to why the big man might have called the Secretary General of the SPLM. To my assumption, I believe this big man might have called the leadership of South Sudan in the year 2025 and told them, look here, the United States of America has got a different leader. And this leader is somebody who makes decision and implement it before you even respond to it. And that is President Donald J. Trump. He's a man of action. Whether people like it or not, as long he likes what he does, and then he will move on with it. If that was the intentions of the big man who called the Secretary General, then personally I can say the big man has called at the very late hour, 2026. And Donald actually suspended the operation in the year 2025, the month of January. 1 year later, they are calling, warning the government of South Sudan, especially the ruling party, telling them that we are going to close down the hospitals. That was one aspect. And if that was not the case, and then he might have called the Secretary General to lay down some of his demands. And if the leadership of President Kiir does not meet those demands, then eventually the support will be suspended. And if that was the scenario behind the conversation between the Secretary General and the big man, then maybe the Secretary General might have a little bit been frustrated and his ego might have been such a little bit. And the only response that might have shifted into his mind is to tell the big man that, please, we are not ready to fulfill your demand. And if that is the case, then close the hospital, where we rely on our traditional herbs. And then he started citing his own stories of 1998. These are the only two aspects where I drew my analysis from. And after that, the Secretary General came and tells the public what transpired. And in his remarks, he narrated it very clearly, and you have heard. And I would beg Abraham Adit to play that clip again before I proceed. Abraham Adit, if you don't mind, I will appreciate if you could replay the clip of Dr. Akol Kordit.
Give me a second, let me pull it up.
Thank you. And if you are down, you want to share your thoughts too in the same regard or the same topic, please. I believe the link is down. You can click and join us. Whether you are in Juba or in East Africa or in Australia, Asia, Europe, or other part of the world, and you are concerned citizens like us, then please join us.
I was meeting somebody very important yesterday from those big international persons. And we shared a concern that now that they are no longer paying for our health system in our hospitals, and our hospital will be closing in the villages. And I responded by saying that in 1998, in a place called Madubai near Maridi, that's village called Madubai, I had a very bad malaria. And I was vomiting that yellow material that comes out. And an old woman referred me to a small tree that has got bitter roots, that I should chew those roots to get malaria away. I chewed the roots and the malaria went away. I told that person, let the hospital close down. The closure of the hospital itself is an achievement to us because we never had hospital before. We are going nowhere. We will be here. This country will go nowhere.
Thank you. Thank you. Stop there, Abraham.
This country will never be.
Yeah, thank you so much, Abraham Adit. To the viewers, you have listened to to his remark, and in his remarks, actually, he stated that the man told him, "Now we are going to stop funding the health sector, and hospitals will be closed down." Underline that word, will be closed. Literally, the big man is giving the government of South Sudan a window of doing two things. It tells you that the hospitals are not yet closed down. Number two, he needs the government of South Sudan to engage with them on how to find a solution before the close down of the hospitals. Number three is to let the government know in advance so that they could prepare themselves on what will come next. Which means this big man from international communities was planning to give at least a window of negotiation, which is not bad. But in Dr. Akol's response, when you read at his lips and what he says, you can see two things. Number one, for him saying that we will rely back to the traditional herbs. In actual sense, that was not his intentions. The simple example is this. If you are from the Dinka background, I will say this in Dinka. Abraham Adit, when we were children back home in the villages, our mothers may say the store is empty. I can cham to uda kalbi cham ko da bani ne lim kuna bu ko ni ne lim ku ye baden la pinchol wo ala mo don ting la ban ke ko ni chetal. The question is cham tio go bela yok tio, and she stated very clearly that he can cham to it. So literally ke ye mo jang. This has been like a normal proverb speaking. You speak in proverb and you know what you do at the end of the day. I'm not disputing those who claim or even said Akol meant this, or he says this with the intention. I'm not disputing your argument. Your argument might be legitimate and might be right in your own way. But looking beyond the actual setup of the government and the role of the government, you can even think and say no. Akol intentions would possibly be two things. Number one, it was to tell the white man, if you want to control her through funding, and dictate what to do as a country, and then suspend it, stop actually funding our hospital. We will use other means. Number two, he is intentional of using the traditional life as examples. It's possible for him to go back to the leadership of the SPLM, call the Ministry of Health or the Minister of Health, and talk to him that this is what I was told, and we need to prepare ourselves. By the time these people will close down the hospital, what should we do as the government and as the ruling party? These are the two things I actually analyzed from his statement. Holding all factors constant. Moving to the statement of him saying that the close down of the hospitals is actually an achievement to the SPLM because we had no hospital before. Looking at that statement, the only issue there is clarity. And this is the only advice I could give to Dr. Akol Kordit. When he's speaking in a fragile country like South Sudan, and everybody is irritated by any step or a statement made by any government officials, and then you should always make your word clear and straight in order to avoid being misquoted or taken out of context. For him saying is an achievement. Many of you have seen you saying that he is accepting it, that the closing of the hospital is an achievement of the SPLM, that the SPLM is working so hard to close down the hospitals. But to me, that is not how I look at it. What he was actually trying to tell us was that when we were struggling during the 21 years of struggling to have independent state, we were not having hospitals. Akol was speaking in a language of those liberators, especially the generals. That's what they normally tells us. And now we are a full country. We have the government, the operational government, the functional government, of which most of us, we always question it. That those hospitals came in after we gained independence. Without us having independence, and then there would have been no you white people coming in to give us hospitals. So literally for you coming into South Sudan from the word go was an achievement of the SPLM who fought for the liberation of the country, and we had independence in 2011. And through that independence, most of you came in to support the youngest nation on the planet. That was what Akol was trying to tell to the audience in that gathering. But many citizens perceive it, and maybe some of the political opponents, that actually the man was trying to brag around that we have managed successfully to close down hospitals. But to me, that was not the angle. So to close my perspective in regard to his remarks, Abraham Adit, and the viewers, I will take you back to my father's statement. For you to judge any public opinions clearly, you need to do three things. You may have your own opinion, you may have your own perspective, but this is how I look at things. The first step is to look at the person who says something. Who is that person saying that statement? What are the credentials that person has? And what could be the reason or what prompted the person to state it or say this? After you ask these two questions, and then you come and stand at his shoe and assume, what if I'm the one who say that? Would there be a better positions or better aspect to say it? After you finish positioning yourself in his or her shoe, and then step back and make yourself as an audience. Now you are the person listening to the speaker, and the speaker tells you this. What is your take? How do you analyze this statement? If you do these three things, it will always draw back to one thing, to give you a position of analyzing the statement without attaching yourself to the situation. And once you attach yourself to the situation, then it's very easy to be irritated, it's very easy to be arrogant, it's very easy to resolve or to resort into insult, rather. It's very easy not even to think beyond what the person has said. Akol, I can encourage him to continue talking. And I can also ask him to listen to the voices of South Sudanese after him making a statement. Analyze them critically and incorporate them into his next speech. Because I can see the SPLM as a ruling party is now speaking in the language of campaigning and elections and all that. But the question still remains, what will be the difference? 2 years ago, they were campaigning in the year 2024. They were campaigning, conducting rallies in Barkazal, in Equatoria, especially Wau and then Juba. And they did not go to Upper Nile region. That gives you questions. Will two regions go for elections minus one region? Will the ruling party campaign only for two regions without reaching to the other part of the end of other regions, actually? So that will be a topic of another day. But I'm just trying to tell the SPLM leadership, you guys, you have a lot to do. Completely, we have a lot to do. In the health sector, you have seen how many citizens reacted toward that statement. Some of them, Abraham, did reach to me through my inbox. They even told me several hospitals were already closed, including Kir Mayar Women Hospitals in Lagos State. Are you getting that clearly? Kir Mayar Women Hospitals in Lagos State. They said it has been shut down. I don't know whether that is true or not. The hospital named after the name of the president, the only hospital in the entire country, is shut down.
Mm-hmm. It is
So if that is the case, actually, to the SPLM members, then you have a lot to do. I'm not even talking about the Upper Nile region. I'm not even talking about the other Farin or Barkazar region. I'm not even talking about the Equatorial region. If actually hospitals are already closed, then what is your plan as the government? And if I ask, what is your plan? Then I may be too naive, because this is not the time to ask, what is the plan? The time to ask, what is the plan, was the year 2025. The only thing to ask now is what are you doing to rescue the vulnerable South Sudanese at the periphery level of the country? Thank you so much, Abraham Adit. I yield it back to you.
Thank you so much, Majong Makut, for your wonderful analysis regarding about this. You're absolutely right. Because if you can see, those hospitals have been closed. Kirmayadi Hospital in Lagos has been closed down. So what message is that? Okay, how people are going to be survive? Okay, so this is the really a bad thing to see in the country. If the country now is closing down the healthcare facility, and you know what, Majong Makur, if those people who have money in South Sudan are the one now, they can travel, they will go to India. Because I'm seeing a lot of them, if they heal, they will go to India for a medication, for medicine checkup. Okay, but the poor people, citizens, don't have money to travel to I'm not even talking about Indian. They don't even have capability to travel to close and neighboring countries like Uganda, Kenya, or Ethiopia, okay, for medical. They cannot go. And people are dying as we speak. And people are dying for this base malaria that he just mentioned. People are dying from malaria, typhoid, cholera. And these are a disease that can be treated, but people are dying from. And the lifespan in South Sudan, is 60. Nobody is reaching 80 or 90 years old because simple, there's no health system. People are dying in very young age. We have seen every day, we have receiving upon all. Plan has died, plan has died, plan has died, you know. Simply, there's no medical healthcare system in the country. Is that the country? This is one of the, you are right, SPLM as a rule party have a lot of things to do. Okay, they are talking about the election and my election. Okay, if we talk about election, and really this election can be taken place in December 2026. And then your agenda now, you have so horrible thing that you get for the citizen to vote you in as a SPLM party. And if the election really can take place, nobody gonna vote for us SPLM party. If Secretary General can come out and say something like this, oh, it's okay, you guys can survive on traditional medicine. Okay, so it's really a very painful, and it is really the government of the day have let the people of South Sudan down. That's really, we have to call it is, you know, we have to hold them accountable for it, what they say. Because people are suffering, people are dying. And I'm not even talking about the hunger. People are dying from hunger because there's no food. Okay? And all of this is so sad to see the country where it headed. Okay. So for that, the SPLM ruling party, they have a long way to go. I don't know how they will convince people who don't have access to Medicaid, to health care. Their children are have sick and they don't have nowhere to take their children to hospital. If you can see, when I go to Uganda or Kenya, you will see trouble. You will travel every corner of the street. You will get a clinic. I'm not talking about the main hospital for the government. I'm talking the clinic, the private. You can go, and it's they call it Sakana in their Arabic. Any clinic you can go anywhere, any 5 minutes, a corner of the street, you could get that. Because when you're sick, you have money, you can go. You will be treated. There's bomb like that in Uganda, in Kenya, okay. But South Sudan have zero. People are living with a disease day by day because there's no. And when your time comes, then that's it. You die. And people are dying before their time comes. People are dying very young age every day because simply there's no health care system in the country. That's why people are dying. So it is really government of people of South Sudan government, the ruling part of SPLM, they have a long way to go. I don't know where the money are going. South Sudan is a rich country, have oil, okay? And you have seen some of the countries that have oil. They are rich. People are living a very comfortable life. Since the war ended with the, South Sudan government should put their focus on development, on the healthcare sector, on education, road, and everything. So, but they are not doing that. Corruption is a very big. They are taking money in their pocket and they go somewhere, and they are the one only comparable, but the poor citizens are dying. It is. So
Thank you, Abraham. Let me add this to that issue of those who have money can afford to go to abroad for their medical treatment, and those who have no money are the ones struggling. It's very important, Abraham, for these looters. I call them looters deliberately, because there is no other other names we can give them. Of course, they are our leaders, but if your leader is a looter, then you need to let him know that you are a looter or you are a thief. They need to be reminded that Abraham Adit on 28th of February 2026, when what they call epic fury was launched against Iran, jointly by the US and Israel. If you happen, Abraham Adit, to predict that in the year 2025, they will say you are a prophet of doom. They will say Abraham Adit is crazy. There is no single day that America, jointly with Israel, will launch an attack or strike that will kill the supreme leader. But it had happened. And immediately after it happened, we have witnessed the prices of oil in the world market. Within 1 week, from $70 per barrel to $90, $20. And today, many people are saying it's $120. After Iran successfully closed the Strait of Hormuz. So, and this Strait of Hormuz is the only strait that actually the corridors that give the 20% of the world oil to the market. And these people with the money, most of them, Abraham Adid, you always see them running to Dubai. Are you seeing them now going there? They're not going.
Dubai now is be bomb, so they don't go
yes,
there because it's not safe.
And that tells you very clearly
now they are shaming
that there are things that can happen. There are things that can happen, and money cannot afford to buy them, or even to prevent them not to happen. Somebody yesterday texted me through my WhatsApp and said, look at your president. He's now going to South Africa, and he was supposed to go to UAE. So I was thinking, why this person texting me this way? But his intention was to tell me that because of crisis in Middle East, and then President Kiir is unable to seek further medical checkup or medical attention in Middle East, he has to shift the gear. But my response to that person was that President is not going to South Africa for medical issues or related things. He is going there for an official visit, as it was written. But the person said, you and your government, you are lying. I just laughed. So indeed, you people with the money, I don't know what you are thinking. But let me tell you without fear of contradiction, that within the next 5 years, some of you will be stranded at Juba airport with your money, and you will have nowhere to go to. It will happen. You will be stranded at the airport. If some of them were using boda as a mean of their traveling, then what makes you think that you cannot be denied with your money? The best thing to do, if you are a businessman or you are a dealer, I know businessmen in South Sudan, most of them are few, but majority, the real business people are few, but majority of them are dealers. Among businessmen is late Amina Kaisha. You see Amina Kaisha? He has left a lot of things behind. One of them is Lukak. So I don't know the true businessman from Dinka society or from Nuer. Because these two people I've mentioned, they're not from these tribes. So what we have as Dinkas and Nuer, these are our dealers, but we brand them as business people. So if you have that money, please try to engage the ruling party, SPLM, and the government of South Sudan, and ask them on how you could help them. If you have $5 million, I suggest you can donate 1 million to the health sector. Some years to come, your name will be remembered in a positive angle of our history. I know some of you will say, why should we support the government and government has money? Yes, government has a lot of money. We are the richest country. If we are not among the top richest countries, then we can say we are richest country. We have a lot of minerals. We have oil, as Abraham did put it before. But we lack leadership. And if you lack leadership, it is your responsibility as the genuine citizens to use whatever little you have to support other fellow citizens. While the government is supporting fellow government, what I mean by that is that government of SPLMIG is supporting the loyalists of SPLMIO and supporting the loyalists of SOA and supporting the loyalists of other political parties, and maybe trying to make themselves look good and remain relevant in the country and in their villages and in the region. But they are not yet into the core of our problems. So indeed, you have money, and years will come where you will have nowhere to put your money, and your money will not save you. Thank you. I yield it back to you, Abraham.
Thank you, Majumakuri. Absolutely right. You are right. Now we speak about SPLM. Now we are shipping to another half of the SPLIO. We have seen yesterday the acting chairman of SPLM-IO, Nathaniel Oyet. He is in America. I will speak. Yesterday he was giving a speech. Okay. He talked yesterday in Omaha, Nebraska. So he member was SPLM IO, they were there, they speak. His speech long is about 1 hour and more. So I will play half and listen a little bit, and then I will cut it up, and then we will analyze more about his speech. Listen to this video.
Nebraska viva! Nebraska viva! United States viva! Ethiopia viva! Ethiopia viva! Oyet viva! Oyet viva! Ethiopia viva! Uganda viva! Korea Zamana, I will get a shot. 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 Asmana Viva, Asmana Viva, Victoria Viva, Victoria Viva, Deputy Sherman Viva, Deputy Sherman Viva. Deputy Sherman Viva, Acting Sherman Viva, Nebraska Viva, Nebraska Viva, Minnesota Viva, Minnesota Viva.
Thank you so much. Ayo Viva, 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 Ayo Viva, 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 Nebraska Viva, Viva. Viva USA, viva! Viva! Viva Canada, viva! Viva! Viva Australia, viva! Viva! Viva Europe, viva! Viva! Viva South Sudan, viva! Viva! Viva all of us! Viva! In the first place, I pass my warmest greetings. Greetings from our people in South Sudan. Greetings from our forces, our gallant forces. Those who are being bombed, those who are going without food. I bring to you their greetings and appeal. I came to the United States of America on invitation. I know there are those who say I came for asylum. But I want to clarify that I did not come for asylum. I have a very big responsibility in my country, a very big responsibility to our citizens who are suffering. I came also to attend a conference organized in Washington, D.C. I was invited as a leader, acting chairman of the SPLM-SPLA-IO. Also as the first deputy speaker of the Transitional National Legislative Assembly of
of the Republic of South Sudan. At this junction, I want to affirm to President Salva Kiir and all those who work with him that all the violations that he has mentioned on the agreement, especially removing positions that were allocated to other parties, especially SPLM, SPLA-IO, we reject that action. Dr. Oyet is the first vice president of the Republic. I'm the first deputy speaker of the Parliament. All ministers and governors, MPs, commissioners that were unfairly removed in violations of the agreement, we have rejected this, and I want to affirm it here.
Astronomer Viva! Astronomer Viva!
So, Majob, do you want to listen more, or I will stop because it's too long? It's 1 hour and something. I will post this video later on, and you guys can wait the poll. It's 1 hour and something minutes, so it's a long.
Yep, you can pause it now.
Okay, so what do you think Majob regarded about his speech yesterday? Has he mentioned, because when you listen to his speech and everything, first thing, because I'm one of the people that who are out there, and when he mentioned about those people, this mention is about me, but I was one of the people that were killing against him and SPLIO when they were lying, when he come to United States, they were lying that Nathaniel Oyet was invited by U.S. Congress, which is not true, it's a lie. And also they came out, the first day he arrived in the United States, they came out with the AI photos of him standing with the President Trump, which is also a lie. Okay, now in his opening remark, his speech, he talked about so can you hear me, Majob? There's something that shows your address has not allowed.
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, there's something showing me now. So his opening remark, you listen to him. He said that he was invited. Okay, he was invited, but he didn't say who invited him. He didn't say that he was invited by by U.S. Congress. Okay, so who invited him? Okay, and came out up front saying that he was invited by the Nuer community in Nebraska or United States General and the member of SPLIO in the United States. Okay, and also one of the person who invited him, his name is Isaac Gang. Isaac Gang is one of the SPLIO leader in U.S. Okay branch. So he have one of the event university, okay, and there was the event going on there. So they connect this with him. They invited him, Isaac Gang, the one who invited him to come to US. So to attend that event and also to meet with their member of SPLIO in United States. That is number two. Number three, so how did we get his visa to come to the United States? While the U.S. has banned South Sudan visa, anybody who holds the South Sudan passport will never step his foot or head foot in the United States because the visa has been banned. Whether you are a regular passport or anything, you are banned. So yes, yes, you're right. SPLIO is, Isaac Gang is a member of IO representing the US. Yes, it's true. So now, When they lie and they said that he was invited by U.S. Congress, that was a lie, you know. So why don't they just come out and say that he was invited? Because number one, Nathaniel didn't come to U.S. with South Sudan passport. He's using another country passport, whether in Uganda passport or Kenya passport. So that's the reason why he entered U.S. So let me leave that way. So let's go back to his speech. Okay. So Major, go ahead and analyze what do you think in his speech. I respond some of the issues, and he will have another event in Phoenix, Arizona next week. So, and another thing, the member of SPLIO who yesterday I was covered, they were saying that it was want to join, attend the event. No, I didn't go to Nebraska. I was here in my state. I didn't go. Even though I go, they will not allow me in because I'm one of the critics, because, and also I'm a Jenge, I'm a Jing. So they're not allowed, they are not invited, they are not allowed any Dinka in their event. Or they even they call me, I'm a government support. They will never allow the government support in the room, and I'm one of the people criticize them in social media. So even though I got that, they will not. And also during the event, there was one of the Dinka man. He was in the room and he was protesting for the innocent civilian that was killed at a Vietnam. They throw that person out in the room. So now, why I will say that I term SPLIO has a tribal movement, I will talk a bit later on later on. But for now, let me give this chance to Majoko to talk more about this. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Abraham. To our viewers, thank you so much for being here with us. It's now 1 hour already, and I still ask you to share this live show. And if you want to engage with us, you are highly welcome to share your thoughts with South Sudanese. To the issue or the topic of SPLMIO rallies, which were conducted yesterday in Nebraska, and you have seen how the deputy chair, who is the acting chair of the SPLMIO, and the first deputy speaker, Nathaniel Oyet, was welcomed, and he made a very long speech. And in his speech, he spoke of many things. I listened to it all last night, and there are some few things that I want to put my thoughts around. To begin with, I will not talk much on how he gets into the US and his invitation, because Abraham Adit has already tackled that. But I will add a little bit on him being invited by the Congress. When you see a house burning, and you tell a blind man that the house is burning or is burning, the blind man will not accept until he feel it. The SPLM-IO is supposed to be genuine from the word go. Whenever you are determined for a certain cause, you have to remove two things: propaganda, which is lies, and fear. I know Nathaniel was saying yesterday he's one of the brave men alive, that he made a statement when he was still in Juba for 8 days. And in that situation, nobody could even dare to make a statement. And then he sneak out of Juba to the comfort zone. The lies is that the United States of America, as you know, Abraham Adit, and many of you knows, that this country is paying less attention to most of African countries, Asia, Europe, currently is so much engaged with the war in Iran. America is so much engaged and worried that the China might take over the leadership of world economy. Seeing Iran is allowing the China oil to go through, and anything coming to the US, Asia, and Europe is blocked. That is another threat to America. The only country America is paying attention to now, that is in South America, Venezuela. As you have heard, you have read that the president, Nicolas Maduro, was kidnapped, brought here in New York, and taken to the court. And US is running that country. US has no intention, especially either Congress or Senate. These people are watching of how Donald J. Trump is handling the current affairs. And they are raising valid questions, questioning Trump orders. They have no time to invite somebody who is not even in Juba. They have no time. If they could not even invite the current leadership, then what makes you think that they will invite an opposition leader who is in exile? The simple thought is that if they were to invite people, they would have invited Gerald Paganamom, they would have invited Gerald Paul Malongawan, they would have invited Maulana Nel Dengnial, they would have invited Thomas Cirillo. These are the true opposition leaders, and Cirillo is a rebel because he has people on the ground fighting and killing. But the three individuals are oppositions, and these people have been engaging with them in numerous occasions. So literally, Oyet was not invited by the Congress. Let that be clear. Number two is using of AI. I will not condemn the IO that much, Abraham did. Reason being, AI nowadays, anybody can sit in his car or in his room and design anything. Can bring your picture together with Donald J. Trump as Abraham did without your knowledge. Posted it on social media. For my case, I don't have evidence that maybe the SPLM-IO members are the one that created that AI image or meeting of Donald J. Trump and the first deputy speaker, Nathaniel Oyet. And if I don't have evidence about that, then that's why I said I will not condemn them much on that. Back to the remarks or the speech delivered by Oyet. Abraham has already asked one question, which I was to ask. He said he was invited, but by who? And as he was moving with his speech or introduction, he said he started responding to allegations which were made by Abraham, one of them, and other few South Sudanese here in US and Australia and Canada, saying that Nathaniel Oyet was invited by the Nuer community. He started responding to those and disputed them. Then the question is, what made him respond to those allegations if he was genuinely invited by the Congress? literally was trying to give some water of truth to the allegation that he was invited by Nuer community. And he stated very clearly that even if Nuer invited me, then I can still come because they are my people. And if Barkazal community invited me, then I can still come, they are my people. And if Equatorial community invited me, then I can still come, they are my people. That's what he stated. So clearly, that should be the position. As a SPLMIO member watching here now, that should be the position. Fighting for the genuine cause of South Sudan, we don't need to lie. If we lie, and then we are not even genuine in our fight. So try as much as you can to reduce the level of propaganda. And by doing that, you will give hope to citizens, and many citizens will believe in whatever thing that you will say as the opposition. Currently, SPLMIO is a leading opposition party in South Sudan, and nobody can dispute that. To his introduction, Abraham Adit, you have heard him, and many viewers heard him saying that I'm bringing to you the greetings from our forces who are the victims of Key regime, being bombed day and night, sleeping without food, without medicine. That is true, but it contradicts the statement issued by the SPLMIO in the year 2025 when the incident of Nasser occurred. The SPLMIO rejected that we are not responsible for the White Army, nor are we affiliated to them. And yet, the deputy chair, who is the acting chair, admitted it yesterday in his speech. This should be clear, that the people fighting in Upper Nile region, they are SPLM-IO forces. So, to those who normally documents informations and writers, you need to make that clear. The SPLM has not accused the SPLM-IO wrongly. I am convinced yesterday that the White Army, the youth who have been influenced, given guns to go and fight, were influenced by the SPLM-IO, and they accepted it as their own forces. Back to his welcoming, I can give credit, Abraham Adit, to Nuer community in Nebraska, and to those who commuted from Canada and other states in the US to attend that event. The receptions they have given to
even other people come from Australia.
Imagine the reception they have given to Nathaniel Oyet is one of the best receptions, and that reception has made Nathaniel Oyet to think like a son of another tribe, being honored by the majority of that party, and that will make him comfortable. The reason to why I appreciate them, there was a statement made in 2014 when people were still in negotiations of agreement and all that, to Addis Ababa and then to Kenya, to Khartoum. And somebody stated very clearly that Mabor Karang was asked in Fangak by one of the SPLMIO generals who happened to be from Nuer tribe. He asked Mabor Karang, now we are fighting against this government. Where are your troops or your forces? If you don't have, please make sure you bring some from your tribe. I did not confirm that from Mabor Karang, nor did I confirm it from anybody from the SPLMIO, especially the top leadership. But that statement has been out. But the receptions they have done to Nathaniel Oyet has neutralized that statement. I can say that statement could possibly be propaganda, because you cannot question somebody to bring forces from his tribe, and tomorrow you welcome another person from another tribe with such mega reception. So that's why I appreciated the Nuer community for giving Nathaniel Oyet such reception. To Nathaniel Oyet actually, entire speech, I can give him credit on one thing. He talks about the foreign policy of our government. And he says the foreign policy of our country is dead. He gave example of diplomats. And he cited the example of Nairobi, South Sudan embassy, in a very sarcastic way. He says, even the Nairobi, Kenya, who is the neighbor to South Sudan, many countries rented or put their embassies in a decent offices and in a decent area. And South Sudan government and the Kir government opted to put South Sudan embassy in the market. And he says even in, I don't know, is it Iriera? Something of that sort. They could not even afford to pay the rent. And the embassy was closed down. And Adut went back and get money from his account to pay some few months for the embassy to resume its operations. That could be his right. It's true that our relations with the entire country or entire world is not up to date. And if the government can listen very keenly to the voices of opposition, then they could take that from Nathaniel Oyet's speech, and try to better their foreign policies. Start within the region, go beyond the region, and then move to other continents. Through having better relations with the foreign countries, it makes your work easy as the government. And it can even make you easy to sideline all the oppositions who are in diaspora or in exile. But two things I differ with Nathaniel Oyet Abraham. He talks about corruption. But if you were to ask Nathaniel Oyet that, are you clean? I don't think whether you will accept that or admit that. But of course, politically, he can say that he's clean. But for the few years he has spent in the parliament, his hand is not clean. When the parliament was renovated, him and the speaker and some chairpersons of the committees within the parliament misappropriate some $5 million. So if you come here and talk about corruption and you are part of it, does it really make sense? Politically, you can be correct. But in actual sense, it tells people that you are so hypocrite. Of course, we all agree. Even President Kiir himself admitted it in several occasions that the corruptions in our country is too much. We just need to accept that. The only thing that I expect from opposition is to come up with the modalities, suggestions, opinions, alternatives on how the government institutions, especially the finance institution, should be run, conducted, monitored to meet the need of South Sudanese. One of them was the initiative of the Minister of Trade, Honorable Atankwal Manyang Juk. That was a good step. Although the chain of commands or communications was cut, that was a good beginning. As long we want to fight corruption, even if it means you have to go through Jamajuba, to Limir Talata, to Malakia, to Konyo, and then to Haimaona, not Haimaona, how do you call it? High Cinema, to Juba town. Then you come through the ministries of roads until you reach J1. That could be the roads of fighting corruption. And there is another short way of moving from University of Juba straight through Isora to Buluk, then from Buluk to J1. Then you can use that road. As long the intention is clear and clean, you can use that shortcut. So generally, Abraham did. Nathaniel coming to US, and I'm happy that you have actually examined it very closely, including the document he used to come to America. It's not a bad thing, but it could send a clear message to the ruling party. If there is a way of the ruling party trying to come to the US and meet their supporters, then that could be better. Because Nathaniel being present in US, they will not do much harm to the government of South Sudan, but it will boost the energy of their supporters. And you could see in the hall was filled up. That was alone give the SPLMIO diaspora members I hope that we still have leadership outside. Although SPLMIO has really been fragmented into several factions. Last thing to condemn Nathaniel Oyet is his remarks against the former governor of Northern Barkazal. Is it Northern or Western Barkazal? Sarah Klitos. I know in politics you can differ. Or demonstrative errors within the SPLMIO, then they should be addressed behind, not to the public. Not to the extent of challenging other gender of women. Women can lead effectively more than men. But using one woman against them as example, that was not right from Nathaniel Oyet. He's supposed to talk about the chairperson of the SPLM in Juba. Not a woman like Sarah. So that's what I can add, Abraham Adit. Otherwise, thank you. And if there is any question on the comment section, then that's where I can come
Absolutely.
in. I yield it back.
Landed. I send you a link in your inbox, and also the link has been pinned down. You can click that link and you can able to join on in studio. So check your inbox, and also the link has been pinned down. You can come in. Yes, absolutely, Majoke, you're absolutely right. Because that comment that about Sarah Clinton, that he's mentioned that she's wearing the red t-shirt inside the blue t-shirt. Yeah, you see? So he said that she is doing like a double standard. So he eating 2 spoons, 1 spoon for SPLIO, 1 spoon for SPLM IG. So, and that is the reason why he criticized her. And that alone, that's the very cheap shot politic criticism toward her, because the way that she turned, because she doing a good job for the benefit of the people of Western Barkazal. Okay, if you can see before all of this, there's insecurity in Western Barkazal, and who causing that is SPLIO forces. So, and she did that, and also to Sarah Clinton, she is not turn her back on SPLIO. She is a member of SPLIO of Stephen Parkwall. Okay, and Stephen Parkwall, he is a acting chairman of SPLIO in Juba. So
Imagine, Abraham, we have 2 acting chairpersons of the same party who are waiting for their king to be released, and then we will see who will hand over the power back to the king.
And
the one in Juba base and the one in diaspora here with us.
While the king of Jongo is still in the cage, the question is, who the king of Jongo is supporting? Is he supporting Nathaniel that would declare a war against the government and fighting? Or is he supporting Stephen Parr, who is in Juba, continue parliamenting the peace agreement? Go ahead.
Oyet, who made an agreement, a collusion with the NAS, without knowledge of the king, while the king is in jail. So him having like the same document or signing a MOU with the Thomas Cirillo, I think that is another thing to be questioned by the legitimate members of the SPLMIO, who mandated him to do so. Go ahead.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that and they signed that agreement. It is another question mark on Nathaniel, because is it the king who they are now are talking around it? He said that we need a release of our chairman of SPLIO, who is Dr. Riak. And meanwhile, is all of this, I know for sure, if he's a king, I know he's supporting Nathaniel, because that what he's doing, declare a war and fighting with the government, it is one of the things. Now, you mentioned about that, let me put this one up. Okay. Here is the okay, let me put that one up there. So this is right here, these are 2 allies, okay? The Nation Salvation Front, with NAS, and the SPLIO, okay? They are joint forces and they declare a war, okay? As you can see, a few months ago, they said that they declared a war and they are marching Juba. They are attacking SSPDF forces and capture some of the BRAC. But now, things are falling apart. I have a voice message that I want to play a little bit from one of the deputy general of national security, who were a deputy of Akol, okay, and he's SPLIO. So when the peace was signed in 2018, when Riek Machar came in and he was the deputy. So I have that audio to play. So now, these are the 2 now. We have known that we have like 5 or 6 fraction of SPLIO, okay? Now the SPLIO now will partnership with the Nation Salvation Front, which is NAS, with Thomas Cirillo. It is SPLIO of Nathaniel, okay? And this is why you have seen overwhelmingly the member of SPLA-IO in diaspora, they're supporting him. And the reason why they're supporting him because he declared a war. Because he declared a war that we are fighting. And then 80% of SPLA supporting diaspora, they're supporting a war, a violence. They are not for peace. Okay? That's why you have seen that reception yesterday, Majuk. You have seen overwhelmingly people turn out. Because those people who were yesterday, they are not living in the state of Nebraska. Even though we know that Nebraska is a majority of South Sudan live there in Nebraska, are majority of them are Nuer. That's why saying that.
Abraham, do you mean the supporters or the members of National Salvation Front were in attendance?
They did attend. They were not
Okay.
in that event. They didn't go.
All right.
So, but that another event will take place in Phoenix, Arizona next week, and the member of NAS, they will be there. They are the one who will be hosting that. But yesterday they didn't go. They didn't go to that event. Okay, and that's why some of the members within SPLA-IO supporters are questioning NAS now. They came out publicly. I was listening to them in Clubhouse. They were questioning NAS member in Clubhouse. Say, why did you guys come to that event? Okay, and the event too is not just a speech. This event was a fundraising event. Okay, they were collecting money to support Oyet to go and buy a gun. And also during the speech too, one day speech you can listen, Oyet is calling them, diaspora, to go and join the front line on the ground. In other words, he's telling them that you guys need to buy your ticket and pack your bag and go to the flank and go to on the ground to fight. So we are losing the manpower. So in other words, two things Nathaniel is doing is raise money to buy weapon to arm the White Army and the IO forces, and also he's telling diaspora, not only in the United States, he's calling in Canada, which is that's why strong or IO supporter in, also in Australia and Europe. He's calling these two or three country to go to South Sudan to join the war. Okay. Meanwhile, they are collecting the money. That was these event things go happening. So now where's the NAS? So NAS, if you can see the NAS are based in social media. That's where they are based on. NAS are not on the ground, even though when they declare a war, they are fighting. You have seen that who are attacking in Equatoria area they call them the IO. They are not NAS. They joined one of the operation in Yeriba, okay, and they defeated and they left. So NAS don't have enough forces on the ground, even though around Juba they have some. They have pure forces somewhere in the bush in around Juba, but they are not enough. They are not a lot like the SPLA-IO forces have, but they don't have capability to confront SSPDF on the ground. So now what they're doing, NAS is good at propaganda in social media. Okay. So they have a media platform, they do propaganda. Okay. So that's where they are good at it. But when it comes to the action plan, like raising money or manpower, they don't have anything to do. Okay. What they do is what comes first is NAS. So this is what is going on for the next few months to come. You will see that maybe this ally between these two groups, the NAS and IO, they will fall apart. At least something will be done. Now, here is the question, Majok. So the peace now has been, because now they are lying. Okay. Nathaniel is lying. He said that, okay, we are demanding Dr. Yang Mashar to be released from house arrest. Now the peace now has, I heard that there will be a peace negotiation talk in South Africa. So what the question is here, what if that peace we negotiate and Dr. Yang Mashar will be released from house arrest and the case and the government will drop the case? That this is the just hypothetical analysis from it. Okay. So is it yet still going to join? Now they're going to step down as acting chairman and give a share to the owner, to the king. Or when you say that, okay, now Dr. Young Machar has been released from the jail and he's now joining the peace agreement, and now I'm not going in. I'm keeping my own, my fraction as IO that I have as acting. I will be acting chairman, and I'm going to continue with the NAS submission, because NAS is not, and they are not willing to sign any peace agreement with the government. They already laid it down when they invited Tomaini too, and when they are invited to join the peace talk in South Africa, they refuse. They say, no, we are not going. Any peace agreement that and the NAS are invited, they refuse. Neither Tomichirilo, they refuse. So the question now, will Nathaniel or Oyet go refuse to go to South Africa for peace negotiation? That's the question. So all of this, I think. So these two movement, rebel movement right here, we put the logo on our screen, are the people that who are causing insecurity in South Sudan. Okay. So now there's one more of clip that I want to play, the voice. So the battle of Akol, okay. There's still when the SSPD spokesperson came out and announced a couple of days ago that Akol, SSPD has captured Akol. They come out and lie, because they're good at lying propaganda. That's why I also put this. No. SPLIO and White Army, they're still in Akol. Okay. So that video come out today from the spokesperson, SSPD spokesperson. They released the video how SSPD they are patrolling the Koba. Listen to see this video. That is the Koba today. So now, so you see the point. That is the video of today. SSPDF released that video, and that is a Koba. So SSPDF soldiers that are patrolling the area, they capture. So, but they are doing propaganda. That's that they SPLIO still Koba. So those are the video that SSPDF just released. Now, why I play that video? There is audio came out a few days ago. One of the deputy. Let me pro that positive. This guy right here His name is General Yaidak. He's the Deputy General of National Security of SPLIO. So this guy here, when the peace was signed in 2018, and when Dr. Young Machar and his forces came to Juba, he was the Deputy of National Security of Akol Corps. Okay, so now when Dr. Yao was arrested, put house arrest, him and Nathaniel Oyet, they are the one who fled the country. They fled. He ran to the to Lanware area, and then he started his movement with Oyet, and we ran to East Africa somewhere. So now these two of them, Nathaniel Oyet and him right here, are too damaging. Listen to this audio. You've been watching the show right now. Speak. Listen to this link audio. This is training around the social media. So this is the training, and he talked before SSPDF capture Akol, and he acknowledged he's speaking Arabic, but he's acknowledged that SSPDF has captured majority or part of the area because he was speaking. This audio he was this general. He's speaking with the. Hang on, let me play that.
كلها موجودات مقدرة عندي والله يدينا الأيام ونلاقي وإن شاء الله أنا شارك أفراح وأيام بيننا كثيرة يعني فالبتعملوا علي ده لغاية ما أظن أنسى لكم بسرعة يعني فإن شاء الله يعني حسناتكم يكون محفوظة لدي يعني فخلينا ننتظر سير المدير الحقيقة وإن شاء الله نسمع كل منه خير. ده في موضوع الشخصي اللي انت تكلمت فيها دي. في الموضوع العسكري ان احنا موجودين هسه الاوضاعنا ما تمام حقيقة مزرية جدا لانه الجبهة كان كنا بنعمل عليها ده الجبهة بتاع الله والجبهة دي حاليا اتكسرت بالموضوع بتاع الذخيرة وما ذخيرة ولو الدين كده وصلوا لحد عقوبة بيكونوا اوريدي سيطروا على نهر الصوبات كليا ودي بيصعب علينا اللي قدام انه نحن نرجعهم كيف حتى تفويج الناس لمناطق اللي ممكن يستفيدوا منه ممكن يجيبوا منه حاجه زي مناطقكم بيصعب علينا شويه. على العموم ده الله وضعنا قلنا برضه نعمل لك تنوير عنه لان انت زو صديق وصديق لنا يعني وصديق لحركه لانه ده الوضع اللي احنا ماشيين فيها. بالنسبه لموضوع الدكتور ما عايزين الدكتور تتفك قريب لانه انت عارف انه لو خصمك لقاك ما عاد انه هو يفكه بسهوله لانه ما في حاجه بدي الازعاج للدينكا زي وجود بتاع الدكتور حي وما عاد انه انا شخصيا ما عندي امل انه الدكتور تتفك قريب. لو في فكه هتتفك اللي بطريقه قوه لو الدينكا حس بانه وجودهم كدولة محددة من IO ده المحل الممكن بعد كده يفكوا الدكتور عشان يجي يتكلموا معنا. لكن طالما هم متقدمين في الميدان ما عاد انه في عمل غريب انه يفكوا الدكتور. او امبارح زي ما كلمتك ناتانيال ويد مر بهنا ويلاقينا موضوع ويلاقينا المبوس الصيني موصولا من القرن الافريقي ويتكلم لنا عن الموضوع بيه. قال لنا يا اخي ان احنا دايرين نشاوركم في موضوع ابيعي لانه حسد ابيعي وضع بتاعه القانوني انتهت. افتكر وجود القوات انتهوا محتاجين لتجديد للوجود بتاع قوه في ابيعي ودينا رايكم. وكلمني واضح قلت له يا اخي احنا حاليا في حرب وما اظن عندنا امكانيه هنا نتكلم في موضوع ابيعي لانه حتى وجودنا ذاته كحركه ما متأكدين ان احنا موجودين ولا ما موجودين. الرئيس ذاته مستقبله ما موجود فان ما بنتكلم في موضوع ابيعي حاليا وبنبتكر انه حق الابيعي دي ده ما زمنه. وبالخصوص ده نكلمك فيه وانت كاخ وصديق لي لو اديتونا الفرصه في موضوع ابيعي وده الكلام ده الاشياء اللي كنت داير من زمان نجي الخرطوم في اشياء نناقشها بالاستفاضه بالوجود نحن كلنا ما بالتلفونات واحد منهم موضوع بيدي، وانا متاكد لو لاقينا فيه نينا نقفل ملف بيدي one and forever. وفي قضايا تانية بنناقش فيه، قضايا بترول. لو نينا انتصرنا مستقبل الشمال والجنوب في بترول هيكون شنو؟ مستقبل الحدود بتاع 2000 وكم كيلو متر ده شكله هتكون كيف؟ لانه هو في الاخر الشعوب دائما بينتصر والحق بينتصر. نحن متاكدين حتى لو طالت انتم ما تنتصروا قدام السريع، وننتصر برضه للنظام القائم في جوبا. لكن الأسوأ حاجه انه نحن ننتصر وما منظمين، وده الحته مخوفنيها. حتى زمان في اللجوء في السودان قبل الاتفاقيه، افتكر برضه الدكتور مع الحكومه فاتت ما اظن عمل اللازم، لانه الشعوب الشعوب بتعاشوا، لكن لازم يكون في مواثيق وعهد انه الناس لازم يعرف انه لو انت ساعتها اخوك ده اللي قدام لو نجح اخوك ده يعمل لك شنو. ده الاشياء مهمه، وبنفتكر الاشياء لا ده لسه مهمه، انه نناقش الحدود، نناقش البترول، نناقش المعادن، نناقش البحور، نناقش الميناء، نناقش التعايش السلمي، نناقشه الاشياء دي. حتى من ما يتوجد الحركه الشعبيه في المعارضه وحكومه السودانيه ما اظن الاشياء ده نوقشت، ولو نوقشت ما عندي فيها فكره. فبنفتكر ده قضايا استراتيجيه محتاجه لنقاش مستفيضه. لو حصلت انه انفرجت هنا في شمال وجنوب، الاشياء يكون في برنامج عمل اوريدي موضوع وموثوق عليه. وده الاشياء نحن بنفتكر انه نحن لو زمن جاء، لو سمح لكم زمنكم، محتاجين انه تدينا زمن نجي نقعد فيها ونشرح فيه ونتواثق فيه ونشوف لقدام لو ينفرج عندنا او لو طلع منكم المفروض تحصل شنو. ده مهم جدا، ده في رايي النظري، في وجهه نظري. ده الكلام ده انا قلت ليه؟ لانه زي ما كلمتك موضوع ابي انه بتاع مبوظ السين اللي غرب افريقيا ورا سالني في الموضوع ده، وده يرد له. وحتى ويت هسه في امريكا وكده مشى كل خطوه بيعمل هو بيسالني ده نعمل شنو، انا برضه انا بكلمه انه المفروض يعمل شنو. ففي هذا الخصوص برضه لو عندكم رسائل اللي عايزين تودوا برضه عبر ويت لجمعنا في امريكا، برضه ان احنا ممكن نوصلوا قضيتكم عبرنا، مع انه عارفين انتم دوله يعني موجوده من سنه 56، عندكم علاقات دبلوماسيه اكثر مننا. لكن ده برضه لا يعني انه لو في حاجه بتحسوا انه احنا نوصل عبرنا ممكن برضه ان احنا نوصلها. وشكرا لك كثير.
أنا ميوت yourself Abraham.
So this audio is how dangerous this is. Okay, this guy is one of the deputy national security. Okay, he is when he's talking with one of the person called Ali in northern Sudan. Okay, and what he's talking about the ABA issues. He talk about the oil. He's talk about the arrest of Dr. Riak, and he talk about the Nathaniel Oyet coming to America to talk to U.S. government to get support from the government of the United States. And also, you talk about he called SSPDF as a dinka. You see. So this fighting, this is why I call SPLIO is a tribal movement, because he called SSPDF as a tribal, as a dinka. Okay. And you see SSPDF, the Nuer are there. Also support tribe are there, and still. So they use a tribal card that to label SSPDF as a dinka forces. Okay. So bear in mind what he's having in his head. And they think that this war is between SSPDF, which is the Dinka forces, and SPLIO, which is the Nuer forces. This is what he's talking about. And also dangerous part about the BA area, because they are talking about they want to make a BA case with the government of Northern Sudan so they can have this highlights about the BA, and they will make sure that BA will be the part of Northern Sudan. Huh? Okay, you also talk about the oil. Okay, the oil, because he tried to tell this guy called Ali that the money, the oil, their companies, when they get the power, if they get the power, they overthrow the President Salva Kiir and they get into power, Yamashar become a president, then the priority will be given to the Northern Sudan oil companies. That's the priority, because they are getting the support. As we speak, SPLM are getting support from Northern government. They are flying with the weapon. Okay. And now, when he's speaking that they are defeating, SSPDF is defeating them, and Sobari has been captured, because they are using Sobat area to receive the weapon from the northern part. But SSPDF captured that area, and that is they blocked everything. So now they say that they're losing everything there. So that's what about all of this is speak, Major. What do you think about that? You can go ahead.
Thank you, Abraham Adit, once again, and to our viewers. It has been a long discussion, and you have been here with us for almost 2 hours. So please, we are discussing the issues of our country, and we are trying to put our thoughts in regard to what is happening currently. The speech or the audio recorded, Abraham Adit, you have mentioned 3 things, and that is where I will put a little bit of my thoughts in. Number 1, Northern Sudan has hand, the invisible hand in South Sudan crisis. Reason being, Abraham Adit, if you look at the number of guns civilians are having currently, you may even realize that for the last 15 years, we were not having such access to guns. But where are these guns coming from? Of course, from Sudan. And Sudan is trying all means possible to make sure South Sudan will also remain like Sudan. Because Sudan does not want South Sudan to be stable, and then they will be abused later on or be challenged. And that is their interest. Number 2, Abraham Adit, is that these oppositions, especially the rebels rather, they are selling part of South Sudan land unknowingly. And that could be the reason, maybe, you never know. Even National Salvation Front might be negotiating with the Uganda, Museveni, to take a portion of South Sudan territory in the exchange of guns and some humanitarian support, or logistics support rather. They can even negotiate with the Kenya. And those countries are stable. What they need is to increase the territorial level of their countries. If Uganda claim that they have discovered the oil, if Kenya claim that they have discovered the oil, then South Sudan, at the time we will realize it all, we will be left with a very tiny, small country. It is very sad that you fighting for the freedom of the people as they claim the SPLMIO, and you are busy auctioning out the part of the larger South Sudan in the exchange of petty and semi-spoiled guns. The issue of Abraham Adit, this guy is lying. Even Dr. Riak himself will not agree to give Abiy to Northern Sudan. Riek Machar himself will not accept that. Even if he becomes president of South Sudan like tonight, he will not agree. Because Riek knows. But these people that are speaking here are the recruits which were recruited during the rebellion. They don't even know the importance of the land of that country. They don't know. What they are looking at, they're looking at the national issue with a frustrated angle, with a desperate solution. Even if the Khartoum government, because we know we have two leadership in Sudan, if one of them can even talk to him during his mood and tell him that sail us Juba International Airport and we will supply you with ammunition, he will accept. And that is so dangerous. It is sent a very clear warning or message to Kir that SSPDF should not be recruited anyhowly. And if they are recruited, they should be trained thoroughly to understand the doctrine of being a national soldier, not an individual militia. It also sent a clear message to the SPLMIO forces. Even if you are brigadier general, because I know there are some people in the SPLMIO forces which were actually given rank before they even go to the field of training. And they are now major generals. Others are even brigadier generals. You need to know that South Sudan is bigger than our problems. Riek himself will go. South Sudan will not leave. Kir himself will go. South Sudan will not leave. What makes you think you can exchange the portion part of South Sudan to achieve your temporal greed? What makes you think that way? That negotiation was so dangerous. And SPLMIO should condemn that. Number two, Abraham Adit, is about Nathaniel Oyet coming to US and the coordination they are doing with the eye. That alone gives some water of truth to the statement that we just said before, that the gathering which was conducted yesterday in Nebraska was not merely a political rally. Rather, it is a forum of fundraising. And Oyet is urging the SPLMIO members in diaspora to raise funds to support and finance the conflict in South Sudan. Listening to his clip, I can confirm and I can see some line of reality. Because he mentioned Oyet Patrick to America and the coordination they will do 3 times. So what does that message send to the current government of President Kiir? It is up to them to analyze it. Number 3 is about him referring SSPDF as Dinka or as Jiang. Abraham Adit, that is a very bad mentality. That mentality is a mentality that is killing many young Nuer who are supposed to be potential doctors of that country, the future engineers, the lawyers, name all other professions. In the world of sports, we could have vibrant basketball team in the near future. The same thing to football. But because of that mindset that we, the tribe, are fighting the government and the government is a certain tribe, that's a very bad mindset. And these are, if you go to Juba today, Abraham Adit, he might be the one to tell you orders or tell you what to do with such mentality. It is very sad. Dear viewers, the war that is happening currently in South Sudan, especially in Upper Nile region, is very sad. And solutions lies in your hand, other citizens. The solution of South Sudan is not with the President Kiir. It's not with Dr. Yang Machar, nor is it with Dr. Wani Iga. It's with you, other citizens, and especially the current generation. And that's why I always said we are the wasted generation in the history of Sudan and the history of South Sudan. Most of you are watching, I believe you could be like Red Army, those who left their parents at the childhood, others claim at the age of 10. They joined the struggle. Then they were lucky through the relationship of the SPLA by then with the US. They were sent to the diaspora. You did not enjoy your childhood age because of that country. You joined the war. Now we have independence. You guys, you can claim the victory and you can even say it proudly that you have contributed significantly for South Sudan to be independent state. But what of us? Especially those who were born in 90, from 1990 to 2005. What is the contribution of this group? The only contribution now is insulting, abusing others on social media. That is the only contribution now we are making. Otherwise, we are really wasted. They're the one fighting, they're the one killing, they're the one dying, without knowing what are they fighting for. To conclude with Abraham Adit, I know President Kiir is still in South Africa, I guess, and he will be told to release Dr. Riak and other political detainees. I can say it without doubt that President Kiir will accept that. Riak will be released. And after releasing Dr. Riak, where will they start from? The agreement is no longer in the picture. Looking at the degrees, then it tells you agreement is no longer there. The SPLMIO is in different faction forms. Who will join who? Maybe the Riak and his wife will come out and claim the legitimates of SPLMIO. Nathaniel Oyet will run with a piece of the IO to NAS. Akol will run with other piece together with Agong Makur in the street of Juba. And then President Kiir will tell Dr. Riak, put your house under order. Put your house in order, then you'll go for elections. And that election time is running in December. December is very near. Upper Nile is not conducive for campaign. Some part of Barkazal is not conducive for campaign. Equatoria is not conducive, especially the Western Equatoria. And then where will they campaign to or from? So literally, Dr. Yak will be released, whether we want it or not. Then the agreement will be extended again, the time for elections. They will give themselves another 2 to 3 years in power. And then they will start telling us that we are committed until something happen. And I don't know what will happen. The suffering of South Sudan is too long unless you speak up, other citizens. Otherwise, don't have that hope that you will be rescued soon politically. No. Now we are not prepared. Other country, Abraham did. Other worlds have already prepared themselves. The war between Israel, US, and Iran has made other countries to prepare themselves what may come. The world order might change anytime between 2026 to 2028. But South Sudan, we're still struggling with the salaries, hospitals, no medicine. The schools, students are being told to pay for their certificate to be printed. What a shame. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Majok. And thank you all the viewers who are coming in. So this is our last. We are come to the end of our show. So thank you. We reached the 2 hours mark period. So thank you for coming in today. We will bring most of the topic like this on the weekend and discuss. So send me if you want to be a part of this panel for discussion about the topic that we will come out with either Saturday and Sunday. Let us know. We will bring you in. And some of you who are in Clubhouse, I know some of you we didn't put this show in Clubhouse because of there is another room running there, so we don't want to go and to open another room while the South Sudanese have another room there. So we allowed them to run that room in Clubhouse. But next time we will connect both media, so Facebook, YouTube, and Clubhouse, so that most of you who have access to Clubhouse can listen into the topic. And for that, thank you so much. We will see. I reach out. Actually, I didn't have a chance, Majok. I received a phone from Isaac, Dr. Isaac Gang, the one that we invited, Nathaniel. So I didn't reach out yet from him. I didn't reach out for him. I will call him sometime this week to see if we can invite Isaac, Dr. Isaac Gang and Oyet, if they can come for the show to Lake Media so that we can interview them. So we will see. I know some of them, they will brainwash that, oh, don't go to Lake Media. It's a tribal, it's a young media. But we will see. But we will send out the invitation, the letter invitation. Then we will send to Dr. Isaac Gann. So, and he will see if they can respond. And we'll let you guys know, because we will invite Nathaniel to for interview. So we will see that. So we will send the official letter to them, maybe today or tomorrow. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. Majok, do you have a close remark before I close down the show?
Not at all. Thank you so much to audience.
Thank you so much for being a part of this discussion. So we are here to bring the topic that we see are concerned to the people of South Sudan, and we will talk. So we will analyzing all of this, whether it's in government SPLM ruling party and also SPLIO opposition. So these are the two different coins that who are bringing the suffering and all of these issues in South Sudan. So we will be harsh on them. We know we're going to be getting criticism from both sides, from opposition side and from the government side. But this is the healthy discussion that the South Sudan need, okay? There's no more silence. We have to speak out. And we have to call out what the government is doing wrong and what the opposition are doing wrong, okay? So this is what we will be housing. And our media platform is open to everybody. We are open to the government official. We are open to the opposition official. So we can, whenever, because government are not willing to come to the media, but our media platform is open 24/7. If the government official willing to come, we can host them anytime. So for that, thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. Have a wonderful weekend and stay blessed, and take care for yourself. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful one. Thank you, Major.
We Santo man kolnyang Mike Sholgrangawan Yuping Yarul Pandiri Shet Maniel Anaketon Niel Jilo Wentonado.
That look bald guy, for you to call our sister out is really all of you, my brother. Garang, young nation, and well, what you can listen to them on Clubhouse. As right now, they are in Clubhouse. They love the night so I don't know if they're gonna come to one of the shows on the live studio. I will let you know. I will contact them. I will have them there on the camera. So, but you always listen to them in Clubhouse. So if you want to listen to them, today we get to connect this show with Clubhouse. So because they are having another show that is Clubhouse. That's why. But next time we will meet them. We will be a part of it. And if you want them to appear in the show, I will let them if they are comfortable. Please come and So, but most of it will like about. So I hope I answer your question, Brother Grant. All right, guys. Thank you. Have a wonderful night. Bye now.